All right. So,
The answers to the test.
sorry,
I said, unless you just want to give us the answers to the final, and move on to the test.
I have.
All of the stuff you're marking on there.
All the answers are there. You just have to find them. And a lot of them are easier to find than you think. Okay, so you will be given formulas. You want to have $100,000 in your account when you retire in 30 years. Your retirement account earns 3% interest. How much do you need to deposit each month to meet your retirement goal? Round to the next highest dollar. So what kind of problem is this? Hint. Retirement account. Which retirement account did we learn about? Anybody? Anybody online? We're trying to figure out which formula to use. What type of retirement account did we learn about?
Interest.
Simple interest? No, that's
The compound one? Is that what you're talking about? The annuity?
annuity. So we're talking about annuity account. And are we paying in or are we getting out? We're paying in. So we look on our formula sheet that will be provided. And we're told that the annuity pay-in is P equals D times 1 plus R over K to the NK minus 1 over R over K. So what are our variables here? We have a P, we have a D, we have an R, we have a K, and we have an N. P is the principal amount, which we have, 100,000. D is the amount per month, that's what we're looking for. R is the interest rate, 3%. K is the number of times per year, each month, so 12. And N is the number of years, 30 years. So you can do it from there, right? So P is 100,000. I don't know what D is. 1 plus R 0.03 over 12 to the N 30 times K 12 minus 1 all over 0.03 divided by 12. Well, 0.03 divided by 12 is 0.0025. And 30 times 12 is 360. Now, nobody likes dealing with fractions. So if we want to get rid of a fraction, we can just multiply by the denominator, right? Well, if I do it on the right side, I have to do it on the left side as well. So over here, this cancels out. On this side, I get $250 equals D times 1.0025 to the 360th power minus 1. 1.0025 to the 360th power. That gives me 2.4568. I have $250 equals D times 2.4568 minus 1. $250 equals D times 1.1568. Divide both sides by 1.4568. And I get D equals $171.61. Round to the next highest dollar. Any questions on that one?
Space here on the test.
You can use scratch paper. You can use the back of the paper. Or you could just bring your own paper, write on the paper, then transfer the answers. Look, I put it in there. And I'm writing big.
You're a guy, y'all always write smaller than we do.
I used to write smaller than type. So be glad. I've gotten better. Any questions on number 1? Easy, right? Again, the hardest part, figuring out which type of problem, labeling your variables. Then it's just math. And you have a calculator for that, so. Find the simple interest. What kind of problem is this? Simple interest. When the principal is 1,500, the rate is 0.06, and the time is 5 years. $1,500 times 0.06 times 5. Well, 1,500 times 0.06 is 90 times 5. $450. Any questions on that one? He's awfully quiet too. Not cold.
It's cool. It is.
I'm burning up. I knew I shouldn't have wore a long sleeve shirt.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was when I left the house this morning. It was like 40 something degrees. Now I'm burning up. Ready for the next one? Say again.
I said, yeah, that's like 30 something degrees below bayou weather, so I'm freezing.
Well, you're from New Orleans, so you don't count.
Below New Orleans.
That's even worse. That's terrible. I shouldn't have said that.
I understood it.
I know. That's why I said it. Okay, so now we have Jose. And wants to take out a $250,000 mortgage. There's your code word. The interest rate on the loan is 3%, and the loan is for 15 years. How much will his monthly payments be? So now there's an issue on the test. If you recall, the loan payment and the annuity payout is the same formula. So it is labeled as such. And that formula is P sub 0 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus R over K to the negative NK over R over K. So what is my principal? $250,000. You can find a house around here for $250,000.
You for that price and more.
How about the interest rate? 3%, yeah, 0.03. How many years? 15. And how often? Monthly, so K is 12. For most of these, K is going to be 12. So I know my P sub 0 is 250,000. I don't know D. 1 minus 1 plus R 0.03 over K 12 to the negative. Is that negative? That is negative, right? N, which is 15 times 12. All over 0.03 divided by 12. 250,000. D times 1 minus, this is what, 1.0025 again? To the negative 180th power over 0.0025, just like last time. See, I'm nice, they give me nice even percentages. Originally, it was something like 4.7%. Yeah, nasty numbers. I don't like nasty numbers, especially when you're just learning how to do something. So again, we multiply by 0.0025 on both sides. And what do we get? 0.0025 times 250,000 gives me 625 on the left. And D times 1 minus 1.0025 to the negative 180th power. 1.0025 to the negative 180. And that gives me 0.6380. So I have 625 equals D times 1 minus 0.6380. 625 equals D times 0.3620. Divide both sides by 0.3620. And I get $1,726.52.
But you divided the 625 by 0.
I'm sorry?
You divided the 625 by 0.3.
0.362.
Yes.
Of course, those of us that have mortgages know that that's not the actual mortgage payment. Any questions on that one? Yes.
So is this formula gonna be on it as well?
All the formulas you need, except right now, I believe one is on the test. and I will point out which one. And if I think about it before I print them this weekend, I'll put it on it. If not, somebody has to remind me and I'll put it on the board. Although I personally think it's not that hard to memorize. But that's just me. So do we need to do another mortgage question? I see one no. Any no's? Yes, maybe. I don't know.
It's the same concept, right?
Yeah, it's just different numbers. Yes. So same formula. And there's our hint right there, mortgage. We have D times 1 minus 1 plus R over K to the negative NK over R over K. P sub 0, R, N, and K, and we're looking for D again. Joanne wants to take a mortgage out for $350,000. Interest rate is 6% for 30 years. Monthly payments, okay, is 12. So now it's just plug in the numbers and play with them until you get what you need. So 350,000 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 to the negative 30 times 12 all over 0.06 divided by 12. Well, that 0.06 is 0.005. So 350,000 equals D times 1 minus 1 plus 0.005 to the negative 360th power over 0.005. So I can multiply both sides again. These cancel each other out, and on the left I get 350,000 times 0.005, 1,750. D times 1 minus, and this is 1.005 to the negative 360th power. 1.005 negative 360. 1.005 to the negative 360. Oops. .005 to the negative 360. And I get 0.1660. So that gives me 1,750 equals D times 1 minus 0.1660. So 1,750 equals D times 0.8340. Divide both sides by this, and I got D equals 1,750 divided by 0.8340. $20,098.32. Now these payment amounts will vary slightly based on your rounding. Whenever you round, show me what you rounded to. Write it somewhere. I wrote it here, I wrote it here. That way I know if you're way off, I can see if maybe you just rounded the too few decimal places. Because it can make a difference. And if we only rounded this to 1 decimal place, it'd be 0.2, and it would make a significant difference in the payment. So please, when you round, show me what you round to. So any questions on any of the finance problems? I think there's two more on the test that aren't on this, but they'll be the same principles. Because I wanted it to be 10, there's only 8. Everybody good on this page? Growth models. So the population of bears in the national forest was measured to be 12,000 in 2003. I'm having a feeling of deja vu. And was measured again to be 15,000 in 2007. If this population continues to grow linearly at this rate, what will be the bear population in 2014? Anybody else getting a feeling of deja vu? But wait, that was elk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what was our formula? P sub n equals P sub 0 plus ND for linear growth. Now I don't know D, but I do know P sub 4, and I do know P sub 0, and I do know N for those two, which would be 4. So I have 15,000 equals 12,000 plus 4D. Subtract 12,000 from both sides. 3,000 equals 4D. Divide by 4. 750. So now, how many years between 2003 and 2014? 11. So now N equals 11. And that's what I'm looking for. P of 11 is equal to P sub 0. 12,000 plus N, which is 11, times D, which is 750. 12,000 plus 8250. 20,250. Where'd 898 come from? Okay. And this time it's bears. So if you write elk, I'll know that you just memorized it from this. Or maybe it'll be elk on the test.
No. Don't do elk on the test because you're gonna change the numbers. Just change the elk for bears. Just like,
So I should change the numbers instead of the type of animal?
no, change the animal.
That's no fun. Gotta change the numbers. I said that's what I do, right? Same question, different numbers? Sometimes? What was the first test? Something like 8 questions were exactly the same? I think I got interrupted that day. And just forgot to change them. So this looks familiar too.
What day are you writing this test? We should all.
Oh,
call
this
you
test
that
is already
day.
written. I just don't remember what exactly it says. I wrote this test about 4 years ago. A native wolf species has been reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park and grows according to the law of exponential growth. Originally, 200 wolves were transplanted. After 3 years, so P sub 3, we had 270 wolves. So first we need the growth rate. I'm sorry? Somebody screaming in the background?
What? What is it, stinky boy? What is it?
Abigail's her. It's mine.
I just do it the easy way and mute them all.
What is that PO? Is there or just?
Sorry?
I said, is that PO or P3, like the first one?
PO, P sub zero.
Okay.
Is that better?
Please.
And if you remember exponential growth, and if you don't, it's on the test. So I have N is 3, I don't have R. Now I have 270 equals 200 times 1 plus R to the third power. So what am I doing next? Anybody? What's the first step here? Divide by 200. Note I said divide, not subtract. Subtraction is for linear. Division is for exponential. I don't know how many people have had subtract instead of divide. And believe me, the answer gets a lot messier. So now I have something cubed. So I need to take the cube root of it, which will give me 1 plus R. But if I take the cube root of this side, I have to take the cube root of this side. Only fair, right? How do we do this on our calculator? 1.35 to the, open the parentheses, 1 divided by 3, close your parentheses. And you should get 1.1052, which you would know if you'd done the homework. So now I have 1.1052 equals 1 plus R. I want the growth rate, so I want R. That's 0.1052. Or if you'd taken notes last class and just uploaded the homework. Because it's the same problem we did in class Tuesday. Any questions on that one? Sorry? 135, caret, open parentheses, 1 divided by 3, close parentheses, and enter. That's 1/3, right? 1 divided by 3. Ready for the next one? How many wolves will there be in 10 years? So now I know P sub 0 is 200. I know R is 0.1052. And I want to know for N equals 10. So P sub 10 equals 200 times 1.1052 to the 10th power. And that's how you get that. 1.1052 to the 10th power. That gives us 2.7190. 200 times 2.7190. So 200 times 2.7190 gives us 543.8, which we round up to 544 wolves. Any questions on that one? Okay, last one. If this trend continues, how long will it take the population to grow to 1,000 wolves? So I know 1,000 equals 200, 1.1052, but I don't know what n is. So again, divide by 200. 5 equals 1.1052 to the n power. Now, remember when we took that diversion in the logarithms? Yes, no, you blanked it out of your mind. You don't want to remember.
He's so dramatic.
They had something that said the log of a to the n is equal to n times the log of a. So just like you can add the same thing to both sides, you can divide by the same thing on both sides. You can take the logarithm of both sides. So the log of 5 is equal to the log of 1.1052 to the n. And that is equal to n times the log of 1.1052. So dividing, I have the log of 5 divided by the log of 1.1052 equals n. To key this in properly and get the right answer, open a parenthesis. Hit the log button. It will open a parenthesis for you. Hit 5, close that parenthesis, and then close your parentheses as well. Divided by, open a parenthesis. Hit log, it'll open parentheses for you. 1.1052, close and close, and you should get roughly 16.9. Not 0.09 years. Any questions on that? Yeah, give me a minute. Did you just need to see it or do you have a question about it? Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions?